So welcome back. This is Spoon TV and we are live here on the grounds of the Capitol building, the melting point of the Liberian body politics. We are here this afternoon to bring you just the look of the Capitol building. We see a couple of lawmakers are embarking and disembarking their vehicles, especially lawmakers from the minority bloc. They've been gathering here. They've been, gathering here. We see, Richard Nangbekun motorcade still parking in a space reserved for the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And of course, as you may be aware, the Supreme Court of Liberia has nullified the leadership of Representative Richard Nangbekun as Speaker of the House of Representatives. So we hope to talk to some of the lawmakers who are here on the grounds of the Capitol building. The building is quiet. So many lawmakers are here, but some of the lawmakers are in their various vehicles. They are observing the time, and as you can see from the video footage before you, that motorcade parking in the space of the spot reserved for the Speaker of the House of Representatives belongs to Richard Nangbekun, flanked by other motorcade and other lawmakers here on Capitol Hill. We hope that to talk to some of the lawmakers here this afternoon. We saw District 6 Montserrat County lawmaker trying to express his own opinion, but we couldn't get him when we are making way to talk to some of those lawmakers who are around the Capitol building. Okay, District 6 lawmaker is around. Representative Innes is around the corner here. So you can see this is the motorcade of the lawmaker Richard Nangbekun from the majority bloc. Today, the Supreme Court ruled that the leadership of Representative Nangbekun as Speaker should be notified, and after which we don't know whether the government of Liberia, whether the leadership will go ahead to strip off all of the security details of Richard Nangbekun and the likes, whether those position committees awarded to all lawmakers will be given. So we hope to talk to Representative Samuel Innes, District 6 Montserrat County, to interact with him, and he's from the minority bloc. Representative Innes, welcome to Spoon TV this afternoon. What's your own, view, opinion about this entire ruling today? What do you make of the ruling?
My opinion about this whole ruling is the fact that I want to be grateful to God, grateful to our citizens, grateful to everyone who have worked to make this possible. My opinion is that justice has spoken. My opinion is that Liberians have spoken. Their voices have been heard. Their concerns have been heard. I think we are at a point where unity is important. We are at a point where reconciliation is important. This is not a victory for one side. It is a victory for Liberia. This is not a victory for Funati Kofa. It's a victory for Liberia in the rule of law. I think for the justices to stand up to this kind of time and not be bending and just be able to firmly state what they meant on that day, it establishes our confidence in our judiciary system, in the justice system, and to say welcome to a new day in Liberia. I think I'm elated. I'm excited that we will come together, we'll work together in the interest of peace, not in the interest of one person, but in the interest of peace.
So the court has already done their part of this entire resolving the impasse on Capitol Hill. A lot of Liberians are calling on the legitimate speaker now, Funanti Kofa, to, since the court are already done this, they are calling on him, maybe he can step down. And some are saying no, you can call on the guys to remain. Where do you stand?
The court have established that Funanti Kofa is the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. He is the presiding officer. And I think fortune ahead is for that Speaker to take his legitimate seat, office. And if the people feel that he did something wrong, bring that to the floor and let's go through the process, because that due process is quintessential to our development, to our justice, and to equalness. So I think there are opinions that on both divide, but I think it is important that today they understand what the court said, that Funanti Kofa is a presiding officer. Anything you do outside is wrong, it's illegal, it's unconstitutional. So we need to come back to the legality. And if they feel that he needs to be removed, then I think this is the time to go in the hall, in our midst, and say, this is what you did, this is the process, and I think to have you removed.
You think this is an affirmation that the law is actually gradually working, the code is gradually working in the interest of people?
Definitely. So I think that old lady in Myanmar, in Grand Leader, in Sino, in Bong, can say yes. Well, when people wrong me, the court will speak out. I think I share a little tear today when she spoke, because it's not the fact of who won. It's the fact that everyone in every corner believed the justice was going to rule as it did. I think anything to the contrary would have just decimated our whole system. We have lost the hope of many people. So I think I'm elated, as I said. I'm grateful for today. I thank all the media who have reported, who have worked tirelessly to make sure this day is what it is, and I'm grateful for that. And I thank you for covering this amazing ruling today.
Yeah. Well, this ruling just ended, and for the speaker now to call his colleague, what strategy you from the minority side and that of the speaker can do now to bring the other guys on board to ensure that session, the Liberian business?
I think that's what we're going to do. The first thing I want to appeal to all of my colleagues, no matter who you are, this is not who have won. I think it's Liberia have won. I want to appeal to our colleagues who on the minority side, not to agitate. This is not a win that you will celebrate, but rather we should reach out. This is time to be reconciliatory. This is a time to respect our colleagues. This is the time to bring them to the table in the interest of our country. Someone asked a question about the budget. I don't think this is time to talk about recalling the budget. That's not something I will advocate for. I will stand strongly against that. This is not time to do that, because the country had to move ahead. The country was moving ahead in as much as things were not done properly, but I think I cannot advocate for recalling the budget, canceling what has happened. Papers that I've gone through, I can't support that. But what I can support right now is to appeal to those on the other side to be able to come together, to form a common cause. And that cause is Liberia first, Liberia last, and Liberia first.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you so much. So we are still here at the Capitol building. It's Maserati County District 6. Samuel in us speaking to us, and we hope to talk to other lawmakers who are also here on the grounds of the Capitol building. As you can see, this is the vehicle belonging to the majority speaker. Then Richard Nangwekun is flanked by this escort vehicle. You can also see the two vehicles, but the question is whether the government of Liberia are going to implement this entire ruling on today to ensure that Speaker Funanti Kofa resumes all of the respects, all of the immunity accorded to him, maybe the office of the speaker, the speaker motorcade, the speaker parking lot, and all of that. So Liberians are concerned, and they're raising this concern on whether these things will be we will be giving back to the Speaker of the House of Representative J. Funati Kofa on this point at which the court has ruled, acknowledging the speakership of J. Funati Kofa and his side. So we just hope to see this will happen, and we hope to talk to.
You see, I expected this, but you know that. I mean, what we normally refer to is what we see, maturity. We have told the Liberian people that we stand with the law and will remain peaceful until the outcome or the Supreme Court ruling.
That's it.
So the Supreme Court coming with their ruling today is not strange to us. But we just decided to remain very mature, respectful, and then adhere to our constitution and laws of this nation.
What next in the Supreme
What
Court
next?
We will put,
in terms of the running of the house.
we try to get back to our police
Yeah.
wherever they got their interpretation from. We feel probably some people were, overwhelmed with, initial plan or what have you activity, but we know that we will speak to them.
Would you consider the budget, the national budget of funds?
We will address that.
You address
and
that.
I think we have addressed that, but we got a chairman who will be able to speak to the public on that. You see, because we don't just like to speak up. We speak in unison. So whatever our chairman offer is what we all agree to. So to speak on the budget issue, I cannot speak on that. We already know what it is.
Thank you ever so much. That was the voice of the even there in the street representative.
So Babolu County District 1 Representative Luther Collins, and they're speaking to us, and we are still here hanging around the Capitol building talking to lawmakers, getting their views, especially lawmakers from the minority side. Today they have been declared as the legitimate side, so they are excited about this news. We've been talking to some of those lawmakers. They express confidence in the process, and they're saying that this is a time for reconciling the legislature to work for the interest of the Liberian people. Earlier on, we listened to the Speaker J. Funati Kofa of the House of Representatives calling on lawmakers on the other side, the majority bloc lawmakers on the other side, to join him into these efforts to be able to resolve some of the issues they have, along the way. But there you have it. This is the motorcade belonging to Richard Nangbekun, Representative Richard Nangbekun, and we don't know whether this the vehicle, the office, and any other thing belonging that were given to Representative Kun will be removed. But as it stands, the court has ruled, acknowledging that J. Funati Kofa is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. This is a story that many of those who believe in J. Funati Kofa begin to celebrate. So this is it. We hope that we can get to talk to other lawmakers from the other side, from the majority bloc, majority speaker. Whether he will adhere to this, we don't know. But as it stands, the court has done its part, and it may be recalled that when the government of Liberia launched its development agenda, the government recognizes the rule of law, and the rule of law is one of the pillars, of the arrest agenda. One of the arrows recognizes the rule of law. So people are pondering on this issue, whether the rule of law will be upheld, whether the legislature will actually look in the direction of the court to consider the ruling of the court. But howbeit, there you have it. We are still here on the grounds of the Capitol building. This is Spoon TV. My name is Trokon Flaman, bringing you up to date on the current situation here on the grounds of the Capitol building from Monrovia. So, yeah. So we just saw the arrival of Councillor Vani Sherman. He is the lawyer. He's part of the legal team of the majority leader, Richard Nangbekung. And as part of the legal team, he has come maybe to consult with the majority leader, Richard Nangbekung, on some of the issues or on the ruling of the court and all of that. So it's good. This is the current condition of the grounds of the House of Representatives. Quite kind. We've been talking to a couple of lawmakers and they've been sharing their view with us. We hope that, let's talk to Reverend To. Reverend To, good afternoon. Welcome to Spoon TV. What's your own perspective today, on this entire ruling?
Speaking on what? On what matter?
On the ruling, people have been calling on the relations leaders to intervene in this entire impasse. And today, the court has ruled.
Anyway, I have nothing to say now. And we'll get back to the press.
Okay. So, Reverend Augustine Toll, he's from the Liberia Council of Churches, and he has also said that the religious community are going to meet and they will provide their own opinion on the ruling. Haji, welcome to this broadcast.
Yeah, thank you. Chokon, we are here and thanks for, joining. So the Supreme Court has laid down their verdict or their ruling or their interpretation on what the embattled speaker was seeking. And in their explanation, they have made it clear. But at the point where we are now is, Chokon, this is what we need to discuss a bit. The Supreme Court has said X, Y, and Z. So even in clear terms, if we want to say it that way, that the Supreme Court has finally recognized Fonati Kofa as the legitimate speaker of the House of Representatives, and knowing that the legislature is a theater of numbers. So now the majority in their 40s can decide not to sit on the gavel of Fonati Kofa. It still makes Fonati Kofa incapacitated to function, to carry on the work of the speaker. And the majority, they have already started, working ever since going into barely 5 months now, since the, Honorable Kun was, elected by the majority as the speaker. So, I mean, they will continue to hold session. We understand by next month, the House will be resuming for, normal, legislative work. There where they will be holding session. So, they will continue to, sit where they've been sitting to conduct session. The minority who might be around, 20 to 29, will go and sit and they will adjourn again. They will adjourn continuously. So what happened from this point is where we are still, confused.
Which is true, Haji. I was thinking about that at this point, Richard Nangbekun is the leader of the majority bloc. He has the number. He has about 40 to 43 lawmakers in his favor. But now the question, the biggest of all questions is whether this legitimate speaker now, J. Funanti Kofa, will be able to pull the numbers so that he can have a quorum to conduct the activities of the House of Representatives. What strategy? Because he just spoke, calling on all of the lawmakers on the other side to join him, but this is just a media show. We don't know whether the lawmakers will just. I know that it is a difficult thing for the lawmakers to just listen and run to him.
From the look of things, what we can say is that Funanti is still trailing behind what he should have done earlier. That is, upon his return from abroad, meet the colleagues personally and talk to them, bring them on board. The first, second, and third sessions he had, where his numbers were around 29, he should have, elevated that number to, 37, where he'll be able to establish, quorum and conduct business. But up to this point, he has not been able to, get the required number to, hold session. And now, the majority guys have already, put themselves into committees, all lucrative committees. You have the Ways and Means Committee is the most lucrative committee, even though all the counties are represented on that committee. But the chair of the committee, have a very big tax, and enjoy a whole lot of immunity because you have some added, staffers onto your current list of staffers. Now you have the chairman on judiciary, you have the chairman on rules, order and administration, you have the chair on executive on foreign affairs. I mean, they are already stratified, they are already moving, they are making money, they are milking. So who can you talk to now and say, leave all of those immunity and come over, let's start at fresh? I mean, it's kind of difficult. So when the Supreme Court even said, Speaker Kofa, you are the legitimate speaker. I mean, it's still, from my own reading, it still does not change anything. The majority continue to work. And what I see is that the Supreme Court will not come into this building. That office is the Speaker's office. The Supreme Court will not come and take Kun's hand and say leave, and Funanti go and sit, because they are already broken into that office, changed everything, the entire furniture, whatever. They have changed everything. New motorcade, some. You can see the lesson plate, Representative 1 designated for the Speaker. I mean, things going on. So when you listen to Justice Nyami Bese, in a dissenting opinion, he talk about the passage of the budget. He talk about all the instruments that the majority have already carried on. So the work is going on. So he's rescinding. I mean, he did not sign the ruling because he feel that these people are already gone far ahead, with the work of the Liberian people.
So it's a huge task for J. Funanti Kofa in terms of bringing the guys together to have this oneness like before. I think it will be a difficult task for him.
Yeah, in his podcast, he made a passionate plea to his colleagues to come and join him and let them reconcile, let bygone be bygone. But you know what happened? It's just like you telling somebody to leave the Queen's table and come in the balcony to
eat. Maybe go in the kitchen.
Yeah, to eat in the kitchen. Come to the kitchen. Let's eat, and let's begin from here. We will transition to the Queen's table again. I mean, it's kind of difficult. And two, he talk about transitional plan. with the majority speaker. So I think he needs further explanation.
Yeah, maybe that transitional plan could be, since the court has legitimized my speakership, at this time I just want to step down to give it to you guys because you have been working and all of that. Maybe, or it could be on the other side, my man gave my team back, then they can transition like that. But there you have it now. This entire thing, you think this will be settled in the coming days, or is still a long haul?
For me, it's all left with the minority now. It's all left with the minority. As for the majority, they are seated comfortably. They are moving ahead. They are not bothered by what is happening. From what I'm seeing, yeah, they are moving ahead. So, I mean, the speaker now to get her colleagues and reconcile. Yeah, and reconcile. He has said that in a podcast. So all he has to do now is in a podcast what he has already said to reconcile the horse is what he needs to do now. He needs to do it. Call his colleagues. Reconcile. Go to a reconciliatory retreat. He can preside. He can call whosoever, like the interreligious, faith based, and they be able to smoke peace pipe. But he has to do that.
So we're still looking ahead whether this thing gonna be resolved. For me, I'm doubtful that in the coming days this will be resolved. Yeah, I'm doubtful that this might just be resolved because the thing is, the Supreme Court has said that J. Fonante Kofa is the legitimate speaker. Anything outside of the law, you should come right back to sit under the gavel of Fonante Kofa, and any other thing, discussions, any grievances, any disenchantment can be resolved through this body. Now, on the other hand, these people have been functioning in their various capacities as speaker, as committee chairs, and some of these government institutions from the executive have been appearing before. I wonder the judiciary went for budget hearing to the majority speaker.
Yeah, all government agencies, came and sat and defended their budget is submitted, to the executive. So
obviously the judiciary part. Aside from that, the budget currently that is being used by the government was signed by this speaker. So we see Representative Bernard Benson, and we saw Representative Princeton, who just arrived a moment ago. They are arriving from the majority bloc. They are arriving.
Yeah. So right now we are only seeing the members of the majority, coming. Some of the minority members might be in their offices.
They already left.
They already left. So we really want to reach out to all the sides, the majority, the minority, how they intend to effectuate the ruling of the Supreme Court, how they intend to reach out to the colleagues from across the aisle. So they have to explain to us, because the Supreme Court has made their ruling. It's left with them now to do what is right, to put the horse in order. So whether the majority will call the minority, whether the minority will call the majority. I mean, like what Fonante said, in a podcast, he said he's not too big enough to agree to anything. I think it means that he's up for reconciliation.
Okay, thank you so much, my colleague Haji Masale. We have been here bringing you live coverage from the grounds of the Capitol building, the current situation here. The grounds of the Capitol building is calm. We see both majority and minority lawmakers are flip-flopping across the floor here, and also we spoke to the minority, one of the minority representative, representative Samuel Ernest, and he said he welcomed this ruling and he see it as a new day for the legislature to be able to work in the interest of the Liberian people.
And what I see in this thing, I see, you know, since they first started, I see courage. I see, you know, a bit of unity from the minority.
Yeah.
From the minority. You know, there are certain people who stood by, you know, Funati Kofa all through, despite what happened, you know. I mean, they stood, you know, throughout, and even right now, they are still standing by him.
Who also stood by Richard Kuhn.
Yeah, but no, we are talking about the weaker vessel in this, in the particular, yeah, you know, because I mean, there are a lot of things, you know, playing, and to be, you know, a minority member, you know, in the legislature, you know what it means.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it means a lot.
So thank you so much, Haji Mazale, and our team on the grounds of the Temple of Justice has also been bringing you update from the Supreme Court of Liberia. We say to those who watching, we say thank you. We'd like to call it a day here, but we are sticking around the Capitol building to see how this entire, you know, situation unfolds here after the ruling of the Supreme Court. They must talk about, you know, long-awaited ruling was handed down today and legitimizing the speakership of J. Funanti Kofa. My name is Chokon Flama Haji Mazale. We've been on this broadcast from the grounds of the Capitol building. Do have yourself this wonderful time.